Hey everyone, this is Shiro, and welcome to a video in which I'll break down easily accessible, unmistakably clear information for the approximately 40% of the player base who cannot read. Yeah, this is the poll that started it all. But it wasn't the fact that about 4 out of 10 of all of the participants responded incorrectly that legitimately annoyed me. After all, that's only to be expected. Everyone knows that global gacha game players are allergic to staring at the written word for too long, irrationally terrified of losing their eyesight forever. Jokes aside, it's the comments that really got to me. I don't even want to look at them ever again because I fear I'd actually get angry if I do so let me give you a short recap from memory. You can seek out the poll and permanently damage your brain on your own initiative, if you'd like. Seriously, we need some sort of Genshin equivalent of the subreddit confidently incorrect. This nonsense is getting out of control. Anyway, back on topic. People argued that Renova would crush everybody else because she's the personification of death itself, so how could Surtalogi, or anybody else for that matter, possibly withstand her? She can't just snap him out of existence. In the same ridiculous vein, others claimed that Rheindotter, having collected faction affiliations as if they were Pokemon cards, was clearly superior to all others, because obviously Wetherfalnia and Surtalogi are just sinners and Renova is just a shade, but Rheindotter is both, and more. Lastly, there were a few Wetherfalnia truthers who swore he would outlast them all because his visionary powers enabled him to be the ultimate cockroach. And to that I say, maybe. You might actually have a point. It's at least conceivable, although unlikely. Now, as a well-read lore enthusiast, I'm sure you've all picked up on where all of the ones above, except for the Wetherfalnia fan club, went completely wrong, right? Right? Please tell me you did, I beg of you. I had to hold myself back from making this another deep dive, because there's absolutely enough in the game already to spend more than an hour talking about Surtalogi. But knowing me, I'd randomly disappear until the end of the Teyvat chapter before finishing another one of those videos, so let's not do that for now, alright? The title of this chapter is not an exaggeration in the slightest. Up until today, Surtalogi is by far the strongest character we have ever heard of in all of Genshin Impact's lore, and it's not even remotely close. The Heavenly Principles and Nibelung are less than specks of dust compared to what he already accomplished hundreds of years ago. No, I'm not kidding or exaggerating here, and there's no personal bias or agenda involved. I'm personally quite partial towards the truth, but I know there are many out there who do not share this alignment. Let's give you a short history lesson on Surtalogi, or at least on significant periods of his life. At the same time, I will elaborate on just how strong he was during these events, as that will become important later. Surtalogi was born the son of criminals who were sentenced to death, growing up on the streets of Khaenri'ah and facing much difficulty. Nonetheless, he grew up honest, straightforward, and chivalrous, as well as extremely daring and brave, even stealing forbidden research materials to help his friends survive. Eventually, under the malicious manipulations of his teacher Harden, at the Knight Academy, he was punished for following the code of knighthood and lost some of his limbs as a result. He was effectively crippled, but this didn't stop him from rising to prominence. At the time of the Cataclysm 500 years ago, he was one of the strongest and brightest in all of Khaenri'ah, yet he hadn't even recovered his limbs yet. This was also when he became one of the 5 sinners, giving him the potential to rival a portion of the entire world of Teyvat, should he so choose. But he soon proved that contrary to most of his fellow sinners, I can't really say all because we don't know anything substantial about Droptatir yet, becoming a sinner and absorbing all of that abyssal power was only one small step on his inevitable path to absolute dominance overall. We don't exactly know when Surtalogi decided to leave Teyvat, but we can make an educated guess and set the time at a few decades after the Cataclysm at most. By that time, according to his own claims, and keep in mind the guy just simply doesn't ever lie, there was nothing on Teyvat that interested him. There was just nobody who could put up any sort of fight. Knowing that he would never get the exciting battle that he was aiming for all along, and that he would simply stagnate here if he stayed, he left, but not before leaving a barely alive and already subdued all-devouring narwhal behind as a gift for his old friend. He also offered to break the curse of immortality for his body, but he got met with refusal. What does all of this tell us? Not only had he grown strong enough by this point to defeat the all-devouring narwhal, but he could also undo Renova's curse. And even more than that, all of the Shades could not put up a fight against him at all, else he would have gone to fight them in a heartbeat. Heck, I'd even wager that he tried to fight them, got disappointed by their relative weakness, at least compared to himself, and then left. At this point, we don't know if he actually attempted to face off against the Heavenly Principles, but I wouldn't put it past him. Considering his status and power at the time, it would be unrealistic to assume that he didn't know about the Heavenly Principles, so he would have certainly sought them out. Anyway, he left, and in a matter of at most a few more decades, he came across Skirk and made her his disciple. Traveling the universe, he trained her and fought against anybody that dared to put up a fight. This included, but was not limited to, and I quote, a weapon forged using the pooled resources of an entire star system. For reference, a star system usually refers to a small number of stars that orbit each other, playing host to at least an equal number of planets. But enough about that, let's continue with the quote. A god manifested by the unity of a whole civilization's beliefs, the mightiest warrior among billions. Nothing could stand in his way, and young Skirk soon realized that nobody had ever forced Surtalogi to get serious. Now, it could be argued that the figures mentioned just now would at the very least be equals to a descender like the Heavenly Principles, or the Dragon King Nibelung of old. Perhaps they might even surpass them. In any case, they couldn't hold Surtalogi's advance at all. But these were just the early days. Later on, approximately a century later, so we are now somewhere between 150 and 200 years after the Cataclysm, that's my best guess at least, Surtalogi began to face a problem. He suspected that he had become the greatest calamity in the universe by this point, and he was quite certain that if he continued like this, then he would eventually become the strongest being in the entire universe, and grow bored. That's when he set Skirk loose, and she set off to Teyvat. We have no real idea how strong Surtalogi was at this point in time, and can't even make any realistic estimates. But one thing is for sure, nothing on Teyvat could withstand even a single breath from him at this point. Now, you might be wondering, how powerful is Surtalogi today, 300 years or more later? Well, we cannot say, but considering his previous growth trajectory, it's unlikely that he has slowed down at all. He has always continued to surpass himself over and over again, achieving an unprecedented growth speed when compared to all other characters in Genshin's lore. He's not even on the same playing field at all. Comparing him to the Heavenly Principles and Nibelung or other descenders is like comparing fireflies to a sun that has already become a red giant. But how? How could a mere scorned cripple from insignificant Khaenri'ah become the greatest cosmic calamity? Yeah, this chapter title is probably going to sound a bit confusing to some of you, but hear me out. Surtalogi genuinely, to me at least, feels like a variation of an anti-hero web novel protagonist. I'm not kidding. He works harder than all others and endures untold hardships. He's obsessed with growing stronger, and is capable of taming powers that others can't hope to oppose, making them his own. He's on a path of dominance over the entire universe, and nothing seems able to stop him. He comes from an insignificant corner of the universe, starting off in a god-forsaken nation as the offspring of mere criminals, facing unjust adversity and scorn from an early age. Like, come on, I can't be the only one who feels like I've seen this hundreds of times before, right? Anyway, Surtalogi actually gives Skirk an answer when she asks him about how he became so much stronger than an entire world, even though he only started off with sufficient abyssal power to overturn 1/6 of it. This is what he responded with. Listen well. When the fruit of a tree dies, its seeds are sown in the rotten soil. Naturally, these seeds may grow into stronger trees that bear harvest 100 or even 1,000 times richer. Even if only 1 or 2 survivors escape a doomed world, their will alone can become strong enough to reforge that very world they lost. Ignoring that obvious Traveler Twin shoutout there at the end, his statement basically boils down to this. He's just built different and has a stronger will than others. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to surpass his origins, so he just did it, with grit, effort, and devotion to his path. From less than humble origins, became an unfathomable being that nobody can contend with. Heck, I didn't even mention earlier that he long ago shed the restraints of his physical form and became capable of appearing in any form he so wished. But to be honest, regardless of how impressive that sounds, it's really just peanuts compared to his other achievements. Surtalogi is well and truly a different beast. And it's my honor to be his grand disciple. Can't wait to face him in a duel and get absolutely obliterated in an instant. In a way, some would argue that I spent this entire video glazing Surtalogi, but is it really glazing if all I did was to speak the truth? I'll leave that up to you to decide. Mind you, there is a wrong answer. Banter aside, I'm glad I finally got this topic out of my system. The confidently incorrect statements of a significant number of illiterate, uninformed fools was driving me insane. But what can you, the viewers, expect to see next? Well, other than lore-through episodes and streams, I have a short little video about Gurabad in mind. Specifically about how puzzling it is that it hasn't been released as a map expansion yet. Seriously, it's way overdue. Now, forgive me for regaling you with a short few words about my stories again. We've all got to earn enough to survive somehow. But what's money? Can you eat it? I certainly wouldn't know because I don't have any. You can find the prologue volume, Rebirth ad Infinitum, of my novel series Reincarnation Cycle's Unfortunate Bug on Amazon. And if you want to read some of my writing for free, go and check out The Heavenly Empress Assassin, my web novel series which I post on Webnovel, Royal Road, Scribble Hub, and a few other sites. Links to them will be in the description as well as the pinned comment below. If you like this video, then please leave a like and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below as well. Share this video with others who might like it, and subscribe to this channel for more Genshin Impact lore content. If you're curious about where I got my information from, check out the sources Google Doc in the description. There you can find all answers that you could possibly need. If you'd like to support me and my endeavors in general, please check out my Patreon. Every bit of support meaningfully helps me out, no matter how small. My Patreon is currently solely focused on providing benefits for the readers of my web novel series, but if you want to help me out monetarily, then it's by far the best option that is available. In any case, thank you so much for considering to head over there, even if only for a moment. I shan't keep you any longer now, for it is time for me to bid you all a temporary adieu again. I will see you all again very soon, so just keep your eyes peeled. Who knows, by the time you see this video, or by the time I finish editing it, I might have already begun to stream my lore-through series. So see you all soon.